You're upside down $39,000 on the Mercedes GLS?
Hold on, it get worse.
I am $52,813.21 in debt.
All right, it's not just cars today. It's a mix of clips to hopefully help you feel a little bit better about yourself. Because no matter how bad you're doing, there's always somebody else online doing much worse.
I co-signed on a vehicle, but the primary signer stopped paying. I'm the one stuck paying $1,000 a month. How can I get out of it? Let's just give him a call. Give me some backstory. What happened? What kind of car? How long would this happen?
It's GLS 450 2019 Mercedes. This morning, too, I found out some information that on the title loan, it's signed as R, like, her name or my name. So they said I can trade in by myself. But on top of that, I also found out it's upside down, like $39,000. I'm like, what?
Co-signing is something I will never do. It doesn't matter who the person is, it's just not happening. The whole reason they need a co-signer is because the lender considers them a risk. Instead of taking that risk themselves, the lender wants you to take it. You get all the responsibility, all the potential damage, and absolutely nothing in return.
You're upside down $39,000 on the Mercedes GLS?
That's what they say. I don't know if that's the truth or the lie, but that's what.
Hold on. How much did you buy the GLS for?
I know I owe $44 on it.
Yeah, so if you owe $44,000 on it, I don't think you're $39,000 upside down, unless it has no wheels, no tires, no brakes, no nothing.
That makes sense. It got 95,000 miles on it.
What year was it again?
2019.
2019 with 95,000 miles, GLS 450. Who'd you co-sign for, man? Is this your wife, your girl?
Yeah, my spouse, and now she jumped ship.
You would think the one person you could trust would be your spouse. Apparently not. She can walk away from their relationship, but he can't walk away from the loan. Now he's responsible for a Mercedes he probably didn't even want in the first place. And that's exactly why I would never put my name on somebody else's loan.
And
She jumped ship? What does that even mean, bro?
stop paying. Ain't paying no more.
Doesn't she live with you? That you can't tell her to give you some money?
She ain't got nothing. She ain't working.
So with around 90,000 miles, your car's worth between probably $17,000 and $22,000 depending on the make and whatnot. So yeah, if you owe $44,000, let's just say you owe 15 with the condition it's in, you're $30,000 probably upside down. So not 39, but you're $30,000 upside down this Mercedes. Did your credit take a hit?
Hell yeah.
What's your credit score right now?
Like probably 498, 499.
So she didn't exactly jump ship. She's unemployed and can't make the payments. That's a little bit better, but not much. When she had a steady paycheck coming in, the payments were probably manageable. But you still have to plan for the worst. The last time I had a car loan, I kept the payments low, and I'm glad I did. There were times when I didn't have a paycheck coming in. If I had a $1,000 payment like they do, there was no way I would have been able to keep up.
So earlier I made a video and I told y'all I owe the firm $2,874, right? Do y'all want to know how much I owe Klarna? Friend, I'm going to need you to sit down for this, okay? Because we got to talk about it. What the hell did I buy? So I owe Klarna $3,077. Ooh, I'm stressed out. When I say y'all, my whole check is going to Affirm and Klarna at this point. Baby, I ain't got no money for no bills. So y'all know I'm a notes girly and I put everything in my notes. I have to pay Klarna $184 on the 30th. Hold on, it get worse.
If your entire paycheck is going to Klarna or Affirm, that would be more than a spending problem. I think at that point it's probably an addiction. You're not buying things because you can afford them. You're buying things because the payment makes it feel like you can. Then every paycheck is gone before it even arrives. You work all week just to pay for stuff you already bought.
And $122. Mind you, that's on the same day. Hold on, it get worse. Next month on the 3rd, I have to pay $369. Hold on, it get a little better. But I also have to pay $39 the same day. The next day, I gotta pay $39. That's on the 4th. Hold on, it get worse. On the 17th, I have to pay $283.93 on the same freaking day. Oh my God. On the 19th, I gotta pay $37. Hold on, it get worse. On the 23rd, I gotta pay $343.
All that money thrown away, and for what? Just stuff. I mentioned that I'm in the middle of moving right now, so I've been sorting through everything I own. Over the years, I've spent money on things I barely used. You don't realize how much stuff you've collected until you have to pack it all up. Now, a lot of that is either being donated to Goodwill or thrown in the garbage. Going through it all has made me realize how much money I wasted on things I never really needed.
Then 2 days later, I gotta pay $186. It get a little better, but it get worse too, because the next day I gotta pay $44. Hold on, it get worse, because on the 30th, I gotta pay $122. And on the 31st, I gotta pay $184. So next month, just with Klarna, I gotta pay $1,700. At this point, I'm finna just cry and delete the app. You know what? I'm not gonna delete the app, but it's gonna get paid. I may have to sell Big Moose, but it's gonna get paid. Bye, friend. I'm stressed out.
Of course, she's not going to delete the app. She probably relies on it at this point. They make it incredibly easy to buy things you can't afford. You barely feel the purchase when it's split into small payments. That makes it easy to keep adding more. And if you're not careful, they start piling up until you're struggling to make all the payments.
I am $52,813.21 in debt. Emma, I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2, and I'm doing side hustles to pay off my debt. I recently just sat down, added it all up, and holy shit. I'll break down for you all of my debts. So starting off with a small credit card, it's $336.21. Next, I have some medical debt. I've got $7,838.51 to the hospital.
She sounded a little surprised by the actual number. I remember not wanting to find out what my number was. I had a rough idea of how much I owed, but I didn't want to add it up. Seeing that number would have made it feel much more real. As long as I didn't know the exact number, I could keep telling myself it wasn't that bad.
And I have another one that's $6,650.49 for a helicopter bill. And then I have a student loan for $18,410. I didn't even get a degree. Last, but certainly not least, is a truck payment for $19,578. If you like debt payoff content, follow along. As a stay-at-home mom, try to chip away at this debt by myself.
It's always the vehicle that's a huge portion of the debt. People take on a massive loan just to have something newer or nicer. Then they're stuck paying for it for years. Without a truck payment, she would have a much easier time paying down the rest of that debt. Instead, she's doing side hustles just to keep up. And by the time it's paid off, she'll probably be ready to finance again.
Most articles online will tell you that paying off your credit cards will not hurt your credit score. But I call BS. Okay? And here's why. I'm a mortgage lender and we have this credit simulator tool, which basically allows me to plug in the changes you want to make, like paying a credit card off or making one-time payments for 6 months. And it tells us roundabout what your score would be based on those changes. This year alone, I've probably done 500 simulations.
There's so much bad information out there, and especially on TikTok. It's the only place you can find people telling you not to pay off your debt. A credit score simulation is going to show you a drop in the score when you pay off your debt, but it's not going to show you the increase over the next few months.
For borrowers with low or poor credit to try to help them get to that next step. And time after time, when I reduce the balance on a credit card to between 10 and 30%, it produces a more positive score than paying it off. So I call BS. Paying off your credit card does actually hurt your score. Why? The banks can't make interest on a zero balance.
It doesn't seem like she understands how it works. When I paid off all my debt, my credit score dropped quite a bit. I can't remember the exact number, maybe somewhere between 75 and 100 points. It didn't stay down for long. Over the next few months, it went up a few hundred points. It went from bad to good. So that initial drop didn't matter at all.
Let's make a not-so-micro payment and reestablish our goal again this month. If you're new here, hi. My name's Amber. I'm a full-time working mom to 4 little boys, and I'm on a journey this year to financial freedom. Previously this year, we have paid off over $72,000 worth of credit card debt, and the overwhelming response is that you all wanted to continue to see me make micropayments daily. So here we are.
I just had to throw in a micropayments clip. It's something I will never understand. Why make a bunch of tiny payments towards your debt instead of just making one larger payment? You're taking something simple and turning it into more work. The debt doesn't care how many times you paid it. It only cares about how much you actually paid.
We are paying off our 2 vehicle loans and mine and my husband's student loans. So let's get into our numbers. First and foremost, yesterday we gained 2,286 new friends. Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to continue to share my journey with you. At a 16th of a penny per new friend, that is going to add $1.43 towards our micropayment today.
So the amount they pay towards their debt is based on how well their video performs, not what they can actually afford. One month they might pay too much. The next month they might not pay enough. Either way, the amount isn't really up to them. Not exactly the best way to get control of your finances.
Next, our post from yesterday had upwards of 15,540 engagements in the form of more than 10,000 likes, 1,405 comments, 2,739 shares, and 1,396 saves. At a 32nd of a penny per engagement, that's going to add $4.86 towards our micropayment, bringing our total self-funded micropayment to $6.29.
Why not just pay what you can afford? Sit down, look at your income and expenses, and figure out what you can realistically put towards your debt, and then send that amount every month or every week. It may not be exciting enough for a video, but at least you know the payment actually fits your budget. To me, that seems like a better way to get control of your finances.
Why do I teach people to pay their credit cards off every single Sunday? It's simple. When you pay off your credit card debt every single Sunday, you wake up Monday morning, you know exactly how much money is left in your bank account because you'll see a pending charge or a pending payment on your bank statement, which means you know how much money you have left for the rest of the week. This is a good way to just say, hey, this is all I got. I can't spend more than this.
It's similar to the way I do it now. It probably works out to one payment a week, or whenever I see a new charge come through on my credit cards. The only downside is it's not really helping build my credit score because I'm not carrying a balance from month to month. My score is already in the excellent range though, so it's not something I'm worried about right now. I'd rather avoid paying interest and carrying debt just to try to raise it even more.
The other thing is, even if you can't pay your credit card to zero, it's really important to pay your credit card down. It's called velocity banking. Even if you continue to use your credit card to get points and miles or simple cash back, by lowering the balance every single week, it means you're paying less interest per month, and then you eventually just pay it off. This is why you pay your credit card every single week, to pay less in interest, have better credit scores, and have higher credit limits.
There's no one right way to pay off debt. Some people like making one payment a month. Others would rather make smaller payments whenever they have extra money. You just have to find something that works with your income and makes sense for you. As long as the balance keeps going down and you can keep doing it, that's what matters most. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.